The Wayne Ayers Podcast. The Wayne Ayers Podcast. Woohoo! Time to wake your ass up for a blessed day.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wayne Ayers Podcast episode. I have no idea what episode is this. 60. Y'all about to be on my head for this. Kemberlie Spivey's on here. You know, she just dropped a new podcast. You gotta plug yourself out.
Oh, yes. Hey, everybody. My podcast just came out, Beyond The Bylines, season 1. So excited. A platform for journalists to come on and talk about their stories, good and bad. And yeah, check it out on Spotify.
And we got a special guest coming on. Kimberly's co-hosting. I'm terrible at this, but Kimberly's co-hosting the podcast episode today. We got a special guest coming on, Camille Hyde, for All America Homecoming. She should be connecting soon.
I think she's on here.
What's up?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Are you on set right now?
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. That's dope. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course. I haven't started yet, so I just came early. So yeah, it worked out. How are you guys today?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Good.
Great.
Oh, that's good. You know, season 2 is here tonight. Like, are you like? How excited are you right now?
Oh yeah, I mean the vibes are vibing today at work. Everyone's super excited. We've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the season so far. We're already on episode 8 of filming, so we're like halfway through. So it's really exciting to see like where our characters are going and knowing like everyone's gonna see the beginning of the journey tonight or tomorrow, and you know people stream the next day or week or whatever. But it's exciting that everyone's going to see the start of our new journeys in this season. So yeah, really stoked.
Speaking of season 2, you know, season 1 left out between you and Simone. Thea and Simone kind of just getting after it again. I just want to know, like, will there ever be a time do you guys see you guys just reconciling and being like friends all? Because your characters just,
you know, they have, at the end of the day, they have a lot of respect for each other. And I think that the foundation of their relationship is founded on respect and having a mutual love for the game of tennis. So I think that'll always keep them bonded. I think that's essentially always the connection that they have, whether they're in a wave of not being on good terms, because you know, when people are very similar in certain ways, they also butt heads. And especially to women who are very powerful and very strong-willed in like the best of ways. But having, you know, 2 girls who are leaders and are they set the tone of the people around them normally. It's not a surprise that they tend to butt heads quite often. And I think below that is also a feeling of holding each other accountable to be their best selves. I know that's Thea's main objective when it comes to Simone is, you know, I know that you have the potential to be as good as you want to be. Are your actions reflecting that? And if you're going to be on the team that I essentially chose to be a part of instead of trying to be a professional tennis player, you have to live up to my standards, especially being the team captain. So I don't think there's any necessarily, there's no hate between them. I don't think they dislike each other at all. I don't think Thea dislikes Simone at all. I just think they're 2 girls that are very powerful, learning how to navigate that dynamic with one another. So you'll see a lot of that during the season. You'll see moments where they're closer and moments where they're not. But such is life, you know. Friends go through seasons of not being super connected and on the same page, and seasons of really understanding each other and really supporting each other. And I think at the end of the day, you'll see that they really do care about each other and support each other.
Okay. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Okay. What's something that you're excited? What is something you're excited about for Thea's journey this season?
That's a good question. I think one thing I'm really excited about is seeing more about, why she is the way she is, what motivates her, what all causes her to be so single-mindedly focused on tennis, and why the stakes are always so high for her, why she puts so much pressure on herself to excel at the level that she does. You kind of see why, and you can empathize with her a little bit on why. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to her once you see some of those layers. You get to meet some members of her family this season, and that uncovers a lot about her and her background and her past. And, a lot of people obviously see Thea as a sort of villainous character at times. But I think I always say, like, every villain was once a hero. And they often have a way of, like, going back to being one. But I think for her, you start to see kind of like, not the villain origin story, but like why she could be portrayed as one, and also that she's a little bit misunderstood, and she's really trying to balance all of her feelings, and her type A behavior is just trying to control all of these pieces of her life. And now she's dealing with learning how to be in a relationship, and we all know how all encompassing that is, especially when it's like your first one and you feel all these feelings, and you don't know really how to, sometimes stay true to yourself and keep your priorities straight, because you're so excited about being in love and all the things that come with that. So I'm excited for people to see just all these different facets of life that Thea has to navigate through, and eventually has to prioritize and decide what's most important to her.
What's like I know you just said you shot like 8 episodes already. Like, what's your favorite episode that you have shot so far this season?
Wow. I mean, obviously I can't say too much about them.
You could just say a number, like a number, so people are, okay, we got to definitely check out this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so far, I think 5 is really, is that 4 or 5? 5, yeah. 5 is really cute. 5 is definitely a moment where you see a lot happening for everyone's character, but there are definitely moments that, Thea and where she's at is just, you've never seen her in that light before. So I know specifically for her, that episode is a really fun episode of just seeing her in a different light, and through a different lens, and not always, at this point she's really enjoying things outside of tennis, especially given the fact that she's had to kind of cope with an injury. So yeah, it's kind of fun to see her in this light. So 5, I would say.
Okay, I was just literally about to ask you that, like, how does like Thea's shoulder injury like impact her, like, just character dynamic in the season? But it seems like she's gonna be just actually be able to live life. Cause I feel like when she's in the show, she's all tennis. Now she's like, okay, there's life outside of tennis. So that's what it kind of seems like. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say, everyone has wanted her to like kind of live and like have a life outside of tennis. So she doesn't seem so like I don't know, like robotic in terms of like, I have to be the best and like I will literally die if I'm not. But I think she does find some balance, and I think she gets scared about her finding balance in other things. And I think she like previously in last season, when things aren't going well in tennis, she blames the things that she's doing or the people she's spending time with or the activity she's doing on, like, well, this is taking away from my dream in tennis and becoming one of the best in the world and competing at the highest level, and I can't do this, so like I have to cut you out, so it's definitely it's a matter of her accepting that it's okay to have balance. I don't think she really knows how, which is why she gives into it, but then she pulls back when she feels like it's detrimental to her overall goals.
Okay, go ahead, Kimberly. My bad.
Okay. One of my favorite relationships out the show with you, Thea and Nathaniel. Will we see that more of that, and will we see more of her and JR maybe in a friendship way?
Yeah. I think coming up there's going to be some more scenes with Nathaniel, because Thea and Simone have had kind of this back and forth. Thea kind of feels like, in a way, that's her group, her family, in terms of Keisha and Nate and JR, and obviously Amara is her aunt and family dinners and all that. And so I think she feels a little bit hesitant to maintain that friendship in the beginning, just because the dynamic between Thea and Simone is so rocky, and she's insecure about them maybe prioritizing their friendship with her rather than Thea, for good reason. But I think at a certain point that issue starts to dissipate a bit. Yeah.
Is there like just from reading the script, is there like a character that you're like, wait, like aside for fans to like really like, okay, they're getting to more in their character, like outside of your character? I don't know if that made any sense, but
Yeah, I think this season, I think I really like the direction of Cam and what he's going through, and I think it's really relatable for people in college. Specifically with dealing with what path he wants to go down. Obviously, football's not an option for him, but just his different interests and also his issues. Again, can't speak too much on it because a lot of things, people will have to watch and see. But I think for him specifically, his path is really relatable to college students. And, it's nice to see storylines that are very common with people in college. And he goes through a lot. And it's also really fun to see his relationship with Keisha. That's probably one of my favorite ships on the show in the whole universe, honestly. They just complement each other so well. So you get to see a lot of their dynamic and their support for one another, which is really beautiful. So yeah.
If you could like play another character from the show that wasn't, of course not Thea, but like if you could play another character on the show, like, which character would you want to play?
Honestly, I really love Keisha. I think she's just like the friend that you've always wanted to have. She'll like break down and twerk anywhere. She'll always hype you up. She's always super humble, will turn up for you, will beat someone's butt for you. Like, she's the friend that everyone wants to have and just like the ultimate hype girl. So I think I love Keisha's scenes, and I love how they write for her and how she's hilarious and also just so stylish. Everything she wears is amazing, and she just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just like idolize her as like an it girl besides Thea.
Because they call you the it girl. They call Thea the it girl. And
they do call Thea the it girl. That's why I said besides me. Yeah, but she's definitely close number 2.
Oh my goodness. Do you have do you how much do you love, or what is something you love about Damon and Thea's relationship together?
Um, I I love that there's something really special about the fact that they're both like upper echelon athletes at their respective sport. And I think there's something to be said about what kind of person it takes to be a D1 athlete or equivalent at any school that has a sports program that excels at that high level. And we don't see it too much in the show of everything that goes into that, but all of the people, I honestly I had the option of playing D1 tennis, and I kind of was battling between pursuing acting because it was something I'd always wanted to do. I'd been doing theater production since I was 4, and knew that's what I wanted to do professionally. But tennis was something that was connected to my identity because I was very talented from a young age. I also started that when I was 3. I literally don't remember the first time I had a racket in my hand because it was when I was so young. And I made the decision to pursue acting because I knew being a Division I athlete is one of the most demanding things that you could literally ever do in your life. You have to wake up at odd hours. You'd never wake up when the sun's up. You're up before everyone, and you literally you go to sleep after everyone because you have to work out in the morning, go to your practice in the afternoon, and work out after your practice, and fit school in between. So coming back to Damon and Thea, the fact that they understand each other and that's the life that they chose, which is super admirable in itself. And the fact that they support each other's mental state going through that, because it is a hard life to have, and to try to balance social life with it too is next to impossible. And to try to balance a relationship and a social life and your sport, so the fact that they just get each other, I think in a way they're the opposite gender of each other. Like super alike in a lot of ways, and their mindsets are very similar. And I think they have a very high level of respect for one another, and you can definitely tell, and they hold each other accountable to like stay at that standard that everyone kind of holds them up to as well. So yeah.
I know like a lot of people want like Damon and Simone to be together. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, people are gonna say what they're gonna say. People are gonna ship who they're going to ship. So that's none of my business. I understand the appeal. So yeah, we'll just see what happens, but that's none of my business.
You said, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I know you talked about like you were playing tennis before. Like, do you all sometimes like go to the writers and kind of put your concept into some of the writing when it comes to tennis, or have you ever had a moment where you can go to the writers and talk about certain things?
We're actually super lucky. We have a lot of people in our writers' room who they connect to every character in some way. Like we have a writer who went to an HBCU, or like I think maybe 2 writers who went to HBCUs and know like that culture specifically. We have another writer who like was an elite tennis player, and she and Thea are very similar, and so she has a lot of expertise in that region when it comes to the tennis and stuff. So I think they have a really good understanding for the writing for Thea, especially around tennis. And when I get out there, I add things, or on a day where, you know, I'm doing something on my own that then they kind of feed off of and write about it in another episode. Like there's something in this episode that we're filming now, 8, that I've done on the court that wasn't written. And it also wasn't in the scene. It was just probably in between, you know, takes or parts of takes that were either on the top or at the end of the scene, but aren't really used. And they're like, oh, like, I like what she's doing here. That comes from, you know, this certain place or energy that she's going to have in this episode. So let's write something like that, but in another episode. So, you know, I think the writers do a really good job of writing off of our energy and our creativity with what's right in front of us with the script. And that's our job as artists, to kind of bring it to life and then add our own personality, pizzazz, our own attachment to the character and what they're going through, and emulating, you know, all those feelings. And they're able to kind of use that as fuel to keep writing for us. So it does feel like very collaborative, but without even really needing to like exchange the words per se.
Has there ever been like any scenes you've done that got cut that you wished would have made the episode?
No, not on this show. I think everything that needs to be there is there. So, you know, sometimes episodes have scenes or episodes are long, and they, in the director's cut or the final cut, they have to, you know, cut out, you know, maybe sentences or parts of dialogue just to fit it into the time that they need to get it down to. But they usually keep, you know, the essential parts to keep the meaning of that scene or that episode. So they're usually pretty good about that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well, there's this one scene where I punched Simone. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, where was that at?
I know people would have been upset if they didn't see that. Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Right. We're like, you're outside, but you ain't that outside.
My goodness.
Yeah.
One of the things I do love, I told Royal earlier last week, was like the social media stuff that you do, like with the TikToks and like putting the Bringston page. Like, I always want to know, like, was that kind of what y'all wanted to do as a cast, to show content to your fans just so they can see what you've been up to or just see behind the scenes stuff? Yeah.
So we basically started the Bringston page just because we really love the energy and the character that is Bringston University, and we've grown so much admiration for, you know, this is a fictitious college, but we feel connected to what it represents, and essentially it's like the heart of our show. And so, you know, we love showing school spirit and just and creating an energy around Bringston as if it was real, because for us it is. And so Bringston is a way for us, the students of Bringston, to kind of set the tone of what we think the energy of our characters are, of our show, and like having kind of like a more direct connection to our fans and welcome them all. Like, it's their way to kind of attend Bringston University too, just through the Bringston page. So it kind of started as just with that as our thought process, and then it just started growing, and you know, everyone has their own input to it, whether it's like my TikToks or, you know, Royal takes photos of everyone. Even on his off days, he comes and makes sure he gets, you know, BTS of, you know, really fun moments and all of the essential moments of the season. And yeah, we love having that kind of bridge between the fictitious university and then like what we feel is real and like the spirit of our show, which is the heartbeat of it is Bringston. So it's really nice to have that.
Would you want some merch?
Right, we were talking about that the other day, and we saw today. I saw this. Actually, the Bringston page reposted this group of kids. They all had Bringston University sweatshirts. doing the cup it challenge, and I was like, where did y'all get those? Like, I don't even have that hoodie. So I was like, I need to email somebody and get me that hoodie. But that's like exactly what we want to see. Like it's giving, like they go to Bringston and they have Bringston merch, and like we definitely want to design some merch, and we have to probably go through people at the studio and production to make that happen. But we're definitely talking about it for sure.
If you could see like Bringston collab with like another like HBCU, like a Howard or like Spelman, like which HBCU you want to see them collaborate with?
Honestly, it would be really fun. I mean, I'm from DC, and my dad went to Howard, my uncle went to Howard, my grandfather went to Howard. I have cousins that went to Howard, so I feel like Howard runs in my blood, and I'm very proud of Howard. So I would say that, and obviously Jeff went to Clark Atlanta, so I feel like Clark Atlanta would be a good one. So between those two, yeah.
Okay, dope. Will we ever get to see like y'all like I don't know, like you know how they have like they might have scrimmages for tennis? Like, will you guys ever like bring in like a pro tennis player on the show?
We're trying. That's all I can say.
Like, you know, something like just to be in the character, like, hey, we're going to this school. That would be kind of cool to see.
That's been a discussion. I can't say like with who, but that's been a discussion for sure.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Kimmy.
Oh, I was gonna say, what has it meant for you to be a part of the All-American universe?
It's been really awesome. I started watching All American during the lockdown, and the beginning of COVID, and I really liked the show, and I loved just the heart of the show. I empathized with a lot of the characters. I felt a lot of emotions when watching the show, and those are things that make me feel really compelled of people's stories. And I came across the breakdown for Thea and the concept of homecoming, and I was actually already friends with Jeffrey before the show. And when I saw, what the show was about, it was about tennis, HBCU, all those things sounded so fun, and I was so hyped just for her, first off, for being the lead of that show, and something that I knew was going to be amazing for the culture. And then when I saw, a few weeks later, a breakdown for Thea, who Thea was, and I was just like, fruitcake, that's me. And it didn't even feel like necessarily like I went through the thought process of being like, oh, like how should I do that? Is this going to be blah, blah, blah? I was just like, oh, that's me. Like I know that the casting director, I've worked with this whole production team before on my last show, Katie Keene, which is also on the same network, same studio, same production team and everything. So it was a really seamless process between me seeing the breakdown, me being like, oh, that's me, and then testing for the show, and being a part of it has been amazing. I never got to go to an HBCU, and I think I find so much joy and contentment from being a part of a fictitious HBCU, and also learning so much about the heritage of HBCUs and the importance of them, and why they're still so important today, and having a place that like belongs to us and where we belong, and that doesn't leave out important facts of about history because they're they may not be necessarily priorities in PWI institutions. And so I love the fact that this show is allowing me to learn a lot about my own community and my own culture, which has been fulfilling to me on and off of the show, within my character and within myself as Camille. So I feel like selfishly, I feel like I'm finally able to live kind of like a similar experience as one that could attend HBCU through the show. And I think culturally it's just so important, and this type of representation on such an impactful platform, being the CW, is so amazing. I grew up watching the CW, and there were no all Black casts at all. I can't even think of an all Black cast for my demographic during that time when I was growing up. So the fact that I'm a part of one now, and making that type of history, is extremely important to me, and I take immense pride in that. And I'm just hoping that the characters that we're playing are characters and people that the youths in our community and outside of our community can look up to and be proud of, and keep in the back of their minds when they go through life and go through similar situations.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Oh, I know we're talking about All American, but you recently just got cast in Mindwash. Like, like, I know you have to shoot, like, it seems like all year round for All Americans. Like, how do you even find time to do other projects?
I mean, it's tricky, but like we do have hiatus, and our hiatus is a few months, so you kind of have to be pretty precise about the projects you do outside of the show. But it is possible. You just have to get projects in where they can fit in, and try to relax on the 2 days that you have free time.
How did you get a part of Mindwatch? Like, did you have to audition for it, or was it like, hey, we loved how you looked in such and such? Or
Yeah, the director and creator of that film asked me, had a conversation with me, and asked me to be a part of that cast, through just having seen my previous work and having a good conversation about it and the concept, and us kind of having mutual creative visions. So that's kind of how that came about, and it's really cool to be doing something that I think is really different than the things I've done before, and more of a psychological type of project that really makes you think and makes you kind of have your own idea of what the meaning is. I love films like that, where it kind of leaves you like, what was that about? Let's talk about it. It creates conversation. It creates a lot of room for conversations that go beyond just the scenes in the movie. So I'm definitely excited for that one, and the conversations surrounding it.
that's dope. Kim, you got anything else?
Do you shoot like after All American Homecoming, or are you doing shooting in between it now?
So I actually already shot it. So they basically did that press release for the film festival tour that it's going to go on shortly.
Okay.
So yeah.
You have any upcoming projects you're working on outside of All American, of course?
Well, I don't really have any time right now to shoot anything else, but so in the meantime, when I have my weekends and my days off, I've been making music. So I have a couple of singles coming out soon.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so that's gonna be really fun. I'm really nervous about it because I've never put music out, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the fruitcake is she doing?" But I really like making music, and it's just for me to be able to put my messages out into the world. So I have 2 singles at the moment that'll be out in the next, I'd say, month or so. So that's kind of been my creative release outside of work.
What's like the
What's
vibe?
the vibe?
Yeah.
Okay, they're 2 very different songs. One of them is called Flower Girl, and it is kind of a girl's anthem for taking care of yourself and just enjoying your life and being a little bit on the carefree side. And the other song is called Enjoy This, and that is similarly about enjoying life and being present. And it's kind of like my very powerful message to never take life for granted, and don't let time define you. Enjoy every moment. We're not here for a long time, but we can be here for a good time, and to just like live with that kind of in your mind always.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So I think the first one's more of like a classic pop, hip hop type vibe, or not really R&B. And Enjoy This is more of like, I like to call it ethereal pop, which is kind of like spacey, starry, and melodically pleasing. So yeah, excited for that. I'm petrified, but I'm excited.
Before I let you go, I had to ask you this. Like, if you could collaborate with 5 artists, who would you want to collaborate with?
5? Okay. Are you talking about actors or singers?
Singers.
Okay, singers. Drake. Absolutely Drake. Party Next Door.
Okay.
Absolutely. Frank Ocean.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Lucky Day.
Ooh, okay. I like
a
these.
good one.
This sounds like a good track list, honestly.
Yeah, Kehlani.
Yeah, that's a dope track list right
that's a
there.
good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So putting that into the universe.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you just giving your time today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was nice to chat with you guys, and thank you for your great questions and allowing me to ramble as I do. But yeah. So
bye.
have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys tune in tonight at 9. Wherever you guys live. Where do you live?
I'll be doing tourist. Oh, I'm in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston?
I'm in LA.
I don't know. That's something. Okay.
No, I was
So
saying we're doing a tourist spaces if you want to come by, if you're not busy on set.
Oh, period. That's
we're
so
hosting
cool.
like a whole yeah. I'll
That
tweet
is
it
so
to you.
cool. Tweet it to me. Yeah, we might be at work, so but I'll try. So tweet it to me. So. Cool.
All right. See you later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye, you guys.
Bye.